On this week's episode, we're talking the best in video games and pro wrestling for 2017. What we're looking forward to in the new year in pop culture, and another hit song from Plasma Z. All this and more as we reach our next stop. Oh, hold on. Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that for everyone out there. Sorry about that. Thought somebody was knocking on my front gate. Turns out it was my neighbor across the street. He's working on the project across the street. So it's like, So, can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Let's start this again. On this week's episode, we're talking the best in video games and pro wrestling for 2017. What we're looking forward to in the new year in pop culture, and another hit song from Plasma Z. All this and more as we reach our next stop, the pop culture cosmos. Happy New Year, everyone! We're back once again for another edition of the Pop Culture Cosmos Show. My name is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. We truly appreciate you being part of the broadcast here today. First off, I want to wish everyone out there a blessed and happy and prosperous new year and an awesome 2018 for you from your friends right here at the Pop Culture Cosmos, and especially to my good friend and fellow host. He is the man, the myth, the legend among all man, the myths, and legends. He is the curator of Humanica Media and the guy to talk to when it comes to all the great podcasts that they have. It's Josh Peterson. Happy New Year, my friend.
Just so you guys know, in post, Gerald is going to put a bunch of poppers in there and fireworks, and there's going to be this huge show, lots of special effects. He's going to just spend hours at his desk working on that, so it's going to be pretty exciting, all right? I'm good, man. I think you're busy now.
Thanks for setting me up for failure. But anyways, it's great to have you aboard, my friend, for another great year of Pop Culture Cosmos programming with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse right here on so many different outlets, including Apple Podcasts, the Gunna Geek Network, the Tangibound Network, the ESO Network, Podchaser. My gosh, we're on over a dozen different podcast networks, and to each and every one of them, we truly say thank you for allowing us to be on the air and appreciate so much that you're allowing us into your homes. Everyone listening out there, just appreciate it so much indeed. Well, it's going to be a great program for you. We've got Billy Connolly from Intelligent Wrestling Conversations. He is actually, Intelligent Wrestling Conversation. He is standing by. He's going to talk the best in pro wrestling, not only best pro wrestlers, but also the best matches you need to go out of your way to see from 2017. Plus, Josh and I will be sharing our thoughts on what we're looking forward to this year in 2018 when it comes to pop culture, whether it's games, whether it's movies, or whether it's anything else. We'll share our thoughts on that. And also as well, we've got a great song coming up from Plasma Z. But first, Josh, to wrap up our best of 2017 series. We've had a lot of great things going down. We've shared our thoughts so far on the best of television in we shared our best of television with the TV ratings guide, and you want to check that out on last week's Pop Culture Cosmos. Also, as well, we've shared our thoughts on the best in esports and also, as well, the best in movies for 2017, and that was on the PCC Multiverse. I will say this, I did get a chance to see Coco, and that did get added onto my list, so I had to bump something off. If you want to check the official list for 2017, that is on the Pop Culture Cosmos website, popculturecosmos.wordpress.com. So you want to see whether it falls off the good list or the not so good list as we share our thoughts on the best and worst in 2017. Or you can listen as well to the Pop Culture Cosmos channel and the PCC Multiverse. We share our thoughts on the best movies and worst in movies as well. But right now we're talking video games. Josh, you especially dealing with the guys from the Super BS Gamescast on a week-by-week basis, you guys really got a chance to cover in depth all the great video games that are out there. And I know there's a lot. Well, I want to say this was a solid year for video games. In fact, it was actually a very, very strong year for video games as far as 2017 is concerned. Not quite the best all time. I still think that's 2007, although Rob McCallum, as we had an argument on a previous episode, will differ from me on that. But still, with The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Persona 5, Divinity Original Sin 2, What Remains of Edith Finch, looking for new ones here. Obviously, PUBG making such a strong statement. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. So many different games that were released this year, that were released in 2017, made such a collective mindset with gamers as far as great games to play. What games in your mind, Horizon Zero Dawn as well, what games in your mind stood out to you in 2017?
Ooh, yeah. So I was actually wondering about this. I know we did our top 5 and we picked our game of the year on the Super BS Gamescast. If you look at the list and especially the games that we chose, like if there weren't any Nintendo titles on there, it would have just kind of been a disappointing year because while we all played games, there weren't a lot besides Nintendo games on our list that were really super, memorable. So, my top 5 games of the year, I would have to say are Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. That's at my top. Senua's Sacrifice. And then I have Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Origins, and then the Uncharted game. And that's not really Uncharted just fills a spot because I didn't play anything that was better than it.
Well, I know for a fact, I did ask around. Oh, hold on. Well, I did ask around to a lot of other individuals, both that have been on the show and actually just listeners and fans out there, in regards to their thoughts on the best video game of 2018. Just a lot to choose from out there. I know Super Mario Odyssey was very high with some. I know actually Divinity Original Sin 2 actually got a couple votes in there. Persona 5 was really strong as well. Horizon Zero Dawn was also very well thought of. But when all the dust settled, and I'll tell you what, I got more good feedback on this and I got more votes on this than anything else, I'd probably have to say without a doubt you have to say that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild looks to be the clear-cut game of the year for this year in 2017 from most pundits, from most outlets, and also a lot of the other individuals that are out there that have described to us in detail in regards to what games that they liked the most this year in 2017. And I'll tell you what, it did help get the Nintendo Switch off to a very, very strong start. So you got to give it a lot of props for that. They've added DLC to it, which has made the game even better. So I think it looks like a lot of activity in this house, I'll tell you. That without a doubt, that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the best game of the is the game of the year for Pop Culture Cosmos for 2017. I think I would stand, even though I know Douglas wasn't really in love with it at Retro City Games. Nicole, same thing. I know some others were giving a little bit of feedback, but when I was reaching out feelers to a lot of different people, the majority came back that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the clear-cut game of the year. So I guess you can't fault it for the success that it's had. And it looks to be right now, at least for the long term, the signature marquee game on the Nintendo Switch system. So let me ask you this before we move on to other stuff, and all the guests, the guest that we have standing by, Billy Donnelly from Intelligent Wrestling Conversation and all that. I want to ask you your thoughts on what The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has done for Nintendo Switch.
Well, after the Wii and Wii U, it didn't seem like there was a lot of good faith with Nintendo. Yeah, their Zelda games were fun, but what was it? We got 2 original Zelda games on the previous consoles, and this game, it really I don't know, it kind of, in my eyes, kind of redefined it. Like, I had never felt the need to play a Legend of Zelda game from start to finish until I played this one. So it kind of took all of the great things about the game itself and really did it better, but at the same time, it showed off exactly what the Nintendo Switch was capable of. And if that game hadn't have come out at launch, there's a good chance that it wouldn't have performed as well as it did. But yeah, it's just a beautiful game, and the way that it showcases what the Switch can do. You can take it on the run, and it never gets old. And from what I understand, even the story DLC is actually pretty good. So yeah, man, it's I think it's worth all the critical praise it got. The gaming mechanics are pretty simple, and there's a lot to explore. There's a lot of mythology there, so you don't have to play previous Legends of Zelda to really understand what's going on. There's some puzzles there. There's just it's a very massive game. Like, you zoom out and look at your map, it looks small, and in the size and scope of like a Final Fantasy game, it's not nearly as big as that, but there's a lot to do, and it's a lot of game and a lot of and it's just fun. It's fun. You play it and you never really look at the clock or the time, and you don't just have to play the main quest. There's all kinds of other things to do. It's kind of the perfect game for a Nintendo console like that.
And that's why I think it is the Pop Culture Cosmos video game of 2017. It definitely is the game of the year by a lot of people's standards. And I think the way that not only the aggregate scores from Metacritic and other outlets have put it on top, but also what we're seeing from other outlets. And just like I said, the feedback that we're getting as well. Gotta say it. Congratulations to Nintendo for producing and obviously creating and developing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because it is the Pop Culture Cosmos game of 2017. If you want to share your thoughts on the best video games of 2017, is it Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, or is it something else? Please let us know. Share us your thoughts. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com. Also as well, Pop Culture Cosmos, Humanica Media, and Game Source on Facebook and Twitter as well. Well, it's going to be a great show we have for you indeed. We just mentioned the best video games of 2017. Well, looky here. We've also got the best in pro wrestling for 20. I'm scared if I start because I know he has to go out in here in a sec. So if I start up again, I know I'm going to have to stop.
Is your office by the front door?
Now, if you came to my house, here's how it's straightened out. That's my house is the 4 bedrooms. It's 1 story, and it is structured, how should I say, with a long hallway on one side. And along this hallway, there's like a half room. And I'm going to give you a little bit of a show here. So, because, it's special and all, we're out to do something. But yeah, if you look around here, it's just like a half hallway type deal where if you look that way, the hallway's down there, and that's my living room and whatnot, front room and all that. Then you come down, you got 1 bedroom right here. You got my son Byron right there, who's you got it, no worries. And then you got a half room, like a man. That's why I don't call it a man cave. I call it a man area. So I used to have a man cave at my previous house, but yeah, it's got a man area. So that's pretty much what I got right here. So to give you an inside look at the Casa de Glassford. So
nice. Thanks for the tour.
Yes. So that's why what's going on. But yeah, that's why it is like Grand Central Station sometimes. So, so I apologize for that.
No worries.
That's why you see random people walking by. Could be my mother-in-law, could be my son, could be my daughters, could be my wife. So yes, but they're going to head out. They were going to go grab something to eat for us. We're going to have a little New Year's evening thing. So they're grabbing food for it. So, all right, we can get back to
okay.
Well, it's going to be a great episode we have for you. Indeed, we've got Plasma Z. We've got Billy Connolly from Intelligent Wrestling Conversation. He's standing by to talk the best in pro wrestling for 2017. Plus, also as well, Josh and I are going to be on the backside talking about what are some of the things we're hoping for in 2018 in regards to pop culture, some of the things we're excited about, some of the things we're looking forward to, and just our general thoughts. And I will say that we will try to avoid maybe some 2018 predictions or whatnot. We'll try to avoid that because I know Josh doesn't really like to go into like making little promises or anything like that. So I think we'll try and avoid that. So we'll just talk about what we're excited for in pop culture in 2018. So definitely going to be a great show we have for you indeed. But first, we're going to kick it off with Plasma Z. He is back again. Elijah Harrison, just been so great to us in 2017. He's kicking off the new year with one of our favorites. It's Supernova. And this is the Pop Culture Cosmos. And we're back to close out the show. This is the Pop Culture Cosmos show. And this is Gerald Glassford from Pop Culture Cosmos and Game Source. We truly appreciate you being part of the broadcast here today. Tell you what, I want to make sure everybody knows out there on the latest Gonna Geek podcast, the crew gets excited as Alexa has finally hit Canada. The Battlefront 2 saga, the first Flat Earth conference, and a whole lot more. That's the official Gonna Geek podcast, episode 216, right now on the Gonna Geek Network. I know Josh has his own network. It's called Humanica Media. So, Josh, what's going on with your awesome channel known as Humanica Media?
All kinds of good stuff. We have a new Topic Apocalypse episode dropping tonight, and that will be the last one till after New Year. You can still catch the Christmas episodes of What About This, and I'm sure there's another one I forgot to mention. There's a new Inside Sports that just went up yesterday, and then, yeah, that's actually it right now. So I'm sorry, I kind of built that up and then didn't deliver on the goods.
Totally caught me off guard with that. I was expecting this long run of shows that you got because you got What About This, Inside Sports, Super BS, Topic Apocalypse, and you usually got like 1 or 2 shows that you're like brewing in the background. Also, what Guardians of the Geek, is that still alive and well? Or
Yeah, the guys sent me a text about that, so we'll see if they pull through with that one. There's a special Super BS coming out next week, and it's we actually sat around a table last night playing Numenera and drinking beers, so that should be interesting.
yes, indeed, it should. So, got to check that out. It's definitely going to be a can't miss episode indeed, and that's on all the available Humanica Media channels, available on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, and YouTube. You want to check that out, or just like the Facebook or Twitter handles for Humanica Media, and they'll give you all the updates right there for you. So you stay in the know, and you stay right there, and you get all the 411 from Josh himself and all the great things going on in Humanica Media. So Josh, there's a lot to look forward to this year in 2018, because that's when this is going to air. So it's the start of the new year, and everything's looking bright and rosy, and there's going to be a lot of great things coming down in pop culture. So I'll start off with you, Josh. Got a lot to choose from: video games, comic books, movies, television, whatever you want to talk about. What are you excited for in 2018 in pop culture?
There's a lot of good movies I'm noticing that are coming out. So you have, just to name a few, we have a new Jurassic Park, Avengers Infinity War. We have Han Solo, Ready Player One. Deadpool 2 is coming out, and there's Ant-Man. Fantastic Beasts has a sequel coming out. New Pacific Rim, possibly Venom. Who really knows when that's going to come out? I'm sure there's a few others that I'm missing here, but it's looking to be a really good year for movies, and they're spaced enough so we're not going to go through any quarter of the year without something good to watch. And that's what I think this year really suffered from, was all the good movies came out at one point and they came out at another point. There's nothing sprinkled in between to keep us going to the movies.
So of all that stuff, all the list you talked about with all the great movies that are coming down the pike, is there any one, two, or maybe three in particular you want to focus on and just break down why they're endearing to you so much and gets you excited for going to see those films this year?
Yeah, normally I would say Jurassic World, but I'm not really that excited about this movie. Like, I saw the trailers and everyone was stoked on it, but it really has a story that I don't really care that much about. I don't care about the volcanoes and saving the dinosaurs. It looks like a disaster movie with dinosaurs, that's all. But I am really stoked about Avengers Infinity War, because this is like 5 or 6 years, possibly more, of movies all culminating into this grand finale, or I guess Avengers 4 would be the grand finale, but it's all coming together. The end is beginning with this movie, and that is really exciting because we're finally getting to see the payoffs of all the storylines, all the stuff we did like, all the stuff we didn't like, all the characters, the sometimes hard to watch parts in Captain America Civil War. We're finally going to understand how it all comes together and why they did the things they did, and I could not be more excited about it. And then we go off to Ready Player One. Looks awesome because it has all the stuff that like I was into as a kid. I'm sure some of the stuff that you were into, all these different.
They are more. They're actually probably modernizing a little more. They're still dabbling in 70s and 80s pop culture into it, but I noticed right off the bat on those trailers they're adding more relevant pop culture to your time frame, aka 90s, early 2000s, that type of deal as well.
Right. And they're even catering to, audiences who are around like younger kids now who like with the Overwatch stuff and all that. And like it looks like it's just going to be a great movie. And I want to know more about it. I haven't ever like picked up the book. I've been meaning to, but it looks like something that really could define a generation of moviegoers. And like for that, like, this could be this Spielberg, like it could be his biggest work that, we've seen since Jurassic Park. So like, I'm super excited about that. And then finally, oh, you want to have anything to add?
Yeah, first off, you need to read the book. You need to read the book.
I know. I want to.
You need to read the book. Before it comes out, you definitely need to read the book. That's why I made that statement, because it actually references a lot of previous pop culture in the book. And I understand that they have to I understand, and I'm fully agreeable on modernizing it for a today audience as well. But when you read the book, even though the book was not made in the far past, it was made recently within the past 10 years, it still touches on predominantly 80s pop culture in the book. So I'm actually happy to see it touching on other decades of pop culture as opposed to just sticking to one general area. Even though the 80s is basically when that's my generation, I'm still happy to see that a lot of stuff from the 90s and 2000s going forward that is in there as well. So you need to read the book. Everybody out there, you need to read the book by Ernest Cline. Actually, they've talked about him writing a sequel. So I'm hopeful that that will take place. But I know they're adding in a character to it, so I want to see how this character being added into it that wasn't in the book, if it detracts or if it adds to the actual movie. I'm interested to see that as well, to see how that plays out. But definitely, people have got to check out Ready Player One. But I know there was one more that you were talking about that you were excited for as well, and you wanted to expound on that.
Yeah, the Fantastic Beasts sequel, because I know a lot of people like it was a pretty good movie, but a lot of people came out with a not liking the first one very much, and the first one felt really like a standalone story. And so I guess I'm curious to see how they're going to open up a whole new series of movies. What Johnny Depp's part is going to be, if he's going to, be worthy of the faith that J.K. Rowling put into him, and David Yates. Yeah, because they're trying to ride that Harry Potter high, but the Harry Potter high, like, yes, it's a cultural phenomenon still, but like the enthusiasm, I think, if you try to recapture the enthusiasm of the original trilogy and you fail at it, people are going to be less and less willing to give your next movie a chance. So that's my big fear with this. So, I mean, I hope that it's good, but like right now, I'm not holding the standards too high, but I do want to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing it and being able to make that judgment call.
Well, I actually agree with you on that, because I told you before when we were off camera, which seemingly we've been off camera for a while on various points of today's broadcast, but I told you off camera that I wasn't really a fan of the Harry Potter franchise. I know, pop culture cosmos guy, but I have read it. I've seen some movies. I've read parts of the series and whatnot. So, but I'm still not a huge fan of it. I haven't been converted over. I haven't been endeared to the Harry Potter franchise, even though my family is just absolutely in love with the Harry Potter whole conundrum, as far as the whole Harry Potter experience. They're big fans of it. I wish I could get into it more. I'm going to try to do so. In fact, we're going to try and get into a lot more of it here in the near future, hopefully. But I want to talk about Fantastic Beast, because that was something I actually really liked. I thought it was a cool experience. And maybe if this is a precursor to the Harry Potter series, maybe that will help people like me actually get into the Harry Potter series more, that haven't embraced it for whatever reason. So I'm hopeful that this sequel in the Fantastic Beasts series will prove out to be something worthwhile and help build that foundation for those not only in the Fantastic Beasts world, but will also help even clarify and even make more attractive the Harry Potter universe to those who haven't fully embraced it yet, like myself. So I'm hopeful that will happen as well. So anything else that was on your docket as far as what you're looking forward to in 2018?
No, I mean, we're not going to get another season of Game of Thrones till 2019, it looks like, and I'm not really like into the TV show scene anymore. As for video games, I'm really hoping to see Borderlands 3 make its debut before 2018 ends, and as well as a some kind of Halo game because it's been 2 years now since Halo 5, 3 years since Halo 5, and yeah, it's the last one kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. So I want to like get back into it, and I want to give them the praise that I'm hoping they deserve. But that's other than that, like obviously there's another Star Wars movie coming out. We'll see if that cleanses the palate of Last Jedi. But yeah, I mean I'm sure there'll be more stuff as I look into it a little more. But what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'll start off with the Red Dead Redemption 2. That is something I'm definitely excited to see. I was sorry to see it get bumped, but I'm hopeful that a Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2018 will rock the socks off people and become that next marquee game for Rockstar, just like GTA 5 and the whole GTA series has been such a tremendous boon for them. And the Red Dead Redemption that came out in 2010, I want to say 2011. That game was truly a very, very good hit for them as well. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they can cook up with Red Dead Redemption 2. And I know we'll be talking about that in the months to come regarding that game as well. I know you didn't want to do predictions, but I'm kind of hoping for an Elder Scrolls. I think it's about time. I think I'll tell you what, Skyrim for them has been like this wet towel, and they've just been wringing it dry and wringing it dry for the past 6 years.
I did play Elder Scrolls Online though, and that's if you're looking for something to fill that void until the next one, it's kind of worth picking up because it's free.
But I'm saying it is, like the Skyrim has. I mean, it's still on it's still being used in Nintendo Switch and PlayStation VR commercials that air recently, and the game is 6 years old. And they've been brilliant as far as how they've marketed it and how they've been able to keep that game alive for so many years. And they're still trying to sell it for $60, and they're still able to get away with selling it for $60 in some platforms, and even though in others it's as low as 15, but we won't talk about that part of it. But they've been brilliant as far as how they've been able to market it out. But I think it is time for a new installment in the Elder Scrolls series, as far as not just the Elder Scrolls Online element. I'm talking about a full-fledged, blown-up Elder Scrolls, and I think that's what I'm hoping, anyways, will come to fruition this year, because it's too early for Fallout 5. So I definitely think that Elder Scrolls will definitely. We'll hopefully see we'll hopefully see the light of day this year at some point in time. I'm very excited to, like I said, see Red Dead Redemption 2 on the way. Detroit Becoming Human, that is also something I'm pretty excited for as well. I know there's a lot of other great stuff on the way, and we'll be talking about that in the world of video games. As far as movies, Ready Player One, I already mentioned how that could become a really big hit. And we're talking about Steven Spielberg movies. We've totally not talked about The Post that came out over the holiday break, and it's something that still in the here this year could still do very well as far as award season comes about with Tom Hanks and also as well Meryl Streep in that movie. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. But Ready Player One could be a very big hit for Steven Spielberg, and I'm hoping that will be the case. Also, as well, I'm looking forward to the Solo movie. I want to see what if it's going to be like a grease fire because of what Ron Howard had to deal with and taking over as far as that project is concerned from the guys who made the Lego movie, or if it's going to be something very cohesive and also very fun to watch. Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character. I've made no bones about it. I've just truly enjoyed his trek through the Star Wars universe. Was very sad, but very understanding why he left the way he did in The Force Awakens. So I'm very happy to see some semblance of his character, and I'm definitely want to see what this new reimagining of the Solo character, be a predecessor, obviously, to what he did in the Star Wars movies. how that will play out. I want to see how, obviously, Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. Want to see how that will work out as well. How the Millennium Falcon came to be, just all that good stuff. So I'm really excited to see Solo as it comes out here in 2018, which still stands in late March. But I have a feeling that since we haven't seen a trailer, I'm still on the edge as far as whether or not it's going to come out that soon because of what's going on with The Last Jedi. If a trailer comes out soon, then obviously that's going to be the case, and it's still going to come out, but could be bumped back to some point later in the year, but we'll have to wait and see how that works out. So I'm still excited to see Solo. Obviously, Infinity War as well, as you explained. All these years since 2000, since Iron Man and Incredible Hulk in 2008, 2009, what this has led up to right now, as far as this movie being the first part of a two-part telling, as far as a lot of the questions get answered of who survives, who's going forward is going to be with the Marvel series. Is it the end for Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, and others? We'll have to find out. And part of it will be told in Infinity War. So I'm definitely excited to see that. And a lot of more great stuff as well. I'm just Fantastic Beasts, like I said, is also a great one to look out for, but there's so many other great things to look out for indeed. I want to ask everybody out there, what are you excited to see in pop culture in 2018? We want to hear your thoughts. popculturecosmos@yahoo.com, plus also as well, Pop Culture Cosmos, Humanica Media, and Game Source on Facebook and Twitter as well. So Josh, we're now in 2018. What are you looking forward to for Humanica Media? What are you looking forward to for Pop Culture Cosmos? I know I want to say again that we will be coming back on the airways with the Podcast Radio Network here in the month of January. So we're definitely looking forward to that and getting that audience back in. But anybody who's stuck with us listening to all of our shows on Apple Podcasts and our dozen other or on one of our other dozen podcast networks, we truly thank you as well. But Josh, what are you looking forward to in 2018 when it comes to Pop Culture Cosmos or Humanica Media as well?
I'm looking forward to E3. That was a big event for us, and that was pretty cool. We got a lot of great stuff. I'm hoping to get more interviews this year, get some more content out there, and I'm looking forward to growing the podcast more. Like, I know between Pop Culture Cosmos and Humanican, where we're kind of still climbing. So I'm and that's thanks to you guys, the fans. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how much bigger we can make it in the future, and where it goes, where time will take us, and hopefully we get some more coverage and events out there for you guys. And what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, again, I want to say thank you to everyone out there who listened to us on the Podcast Radio Network. We were the #1 show on the Podcast Radio Network for the year of 2017. We had more listeners than any other show on the network, and it's all because of you. We're hopeful that 2018 will end up in a similar fashion. Plus, we're looking to add more networks to help make easier for people to listen to our great show, and also as well the PCC Multiverse and Humanica Media shows and programming. So we're always on the lookout to add those networks that want our stuff as well. So definitely looking forward to that and getting more friendly faces as far as people who want to go ahead and listen to our great things twice a week in pop culture. So that's just basically what's going on. Just excited for a great 2018. We got nominated last year for Discover Pods Award, which totally for us came out of left field for us, and truly thankful and blessed. And hopefully similar great things will happen for us in 2018 as well. But definitely it's all because of you that we do this, and we truly want to thank you. And for everyone out there who has listened to us, again, we wish you a safe and prosperous 2018. So for Josh Peterson, This is Gerald Glassford. Oh, sorry. Just want to make sure before we head on out, thank you so much for listening. And also as well, give a big thanks to Billy Conley from Intelligent Wrestling Conversation. You got to check out his podcast today on Apple Podcasts and other great audio outlets. Listen to his show each and every week for all the great intelligent wrestling conversation there as well. So definitely a big shout out to him for filling in for Mike and Brian of the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing on the best in pro wrestling on 2017. And also as well, I want to thank Elijah Harrison, also as well Chad from Hyperschmidt, Warren Fernandez for providing us music all year long, and also what else? What was that other guy's name? The guy from that you were going to do an interview with, but he didn't. Who sings? When he worked at Disney.
Oh, Moy Navarro.
Oh, that's right. And Moy Navarro for all the music that they provided to us in 2017. Thank you so much. We don't say enough about what great things you guys are cooking up. So if you want to check out their great stuff, check out Chad and Hyperschmidt today on his YouTube channel. Check out Elijah Harrison on SoundCloud, and check out Warren Fernandez on his great check out Warren Fernandez's album on Bandcamp. You got definitely some great music indeed. So for Josh Peterson, this is Gerald Glassford. It's another beautiful year in paradise right here in the pop culture.
Happy New Year, too. Happy New Year.
There you go. The pop culture cosmos. We thank you for listening. And again, like Josh said, Happy New Year, everyone. And here's hoping you have yourself a great day.